The myth of genius and the marketing of the artist. Where does art end and PR begin? Contemporary art is no longer just about paintings or sculptures. Today, the artist is not only a creator of images, he is a brand, a story, a persona. Success in the art world often depends less on talent and more on the mythology built around the artist. The genius, the rebel, the philosopher, the mystic, this performance of the self has become part of the artistic process. But why does it matter so much? And where is the line between true creative search and calculated marketing? A legend drives attention. The public cares not only about what the artist makes but who the artist is. Why is Banksy so wildly popular? Not just for his street art, but because he's a mystery, a hooded anarchist, a ghost with a message. Or, take Marina Abramovic. She's not just a performance artist, she's a modern-day shaman flirting with the spiritual. These narratives provoke emotion. And emotion means attention, engagement, and the urge to stay in the loop. The artist's story becomes a product. Childhood, trauma, philosophy, social media behavior, all of it becomes part of the artwork. Curators, galleries, and dealers reinforce this. Because they're not just selling a painting, they're selling a myth. And a strong myth creates lasting value. It sticks in people's minds and raises the price. Marketing as a tool for success. Today's artists learn branding as seriously as they learn to draw. A catchy name, a visual strategy on Instagram, a signature color scheme, even a public persona, whether as a shy philosopher or a bold provocateur, all of this builds recognition. An artist who can market not only their work but themselves will enter galleries, press, and collections much faster. But here's the problem. Where does honest expression end and cold strategy begin? Can we trust a work that's backed by a PR team, an agent, and a content plan? The line between exploration and performance, real artistic exploration, is risky. It doesn't always lead to success. The artist might fail, doubt, contradict themselves, but marketing demands clarity. Position yourself, be consistent, sell the emotion, and that's where it gets dangerous. When the artist stops exploring and starts pretending. Still, many artists today blend both worlds consciously. They craft their myth knowingly and use it as a tool to make a statement, to challenge the system, to talk to the audience. This isn't the innocent genius in an ivory tower. This is a strategist working at the crossroads of media, philosophy, and art. Conclusion: the mythology of genius isn't a lie. It's a language, a way to be heard in a noisy world. The key is that there's something real behind the story, not just the desire to be liked or to sell. Art, like people, is full of contradictions. But if the story the artist tells resonates with the viewer, then it works. And maybe that's the true magic of 21st century art. And in my case, the strategy is a little different. I don't consider myself an artist at all. My paintings come from a completely different professional background: urban planning, architecture, landscape design. What I create are essentially stylized master plans, visualized layouts filled with data about the ancient architects I depict. They're not for those who chase decorative beauty. They're for people drawn to scale, to influence, to the idea of shaping how vast numbers of people live now and in the future through material structures. The architects I portray, they actually did it. We live in what they built. So will our children, and their children too. These paintings are about that kind of manipulation, manipulating the complex world through architecture. That's how architects think. That's how powerful people shape reality. So this is a different kind of art. Less about creativity, more about impact. About understanding how what you do can influence millions today and in centuries to come. That kind of thinking isn't for everyone. But if that speaks to you, then maybe my work is for you. Because art reflects our inner core, and the art we choose reflects our long-term internal goals. If your goals align with what I just said, maybe you'll find yourself in these paintings. Maybe they'll help you express your inner world and your purpose. You can find my works through the link in the video description and in my profile. Like, repost, and subscribe. My name is Eduard Kichigin.